10 days ago, I made the commitment to finally give it a go, to do what my conscience was telling me for so many months and actually try veganism. It all began when I met a very interesting gentleman just before I came home from Thailand. He was strong, charismatic, crazy energy, very, very jacked, and he wasn't your typical alpha male grind set bro. He was very kind, compassionate, empathetic. He helped me out so much, untangle a lot of my thoughts and limiting beliefs, and helped me take more aligned action. His presence was magnetic, and something surprised me. When I found out he was vegan, I thought, this can't be. Surely vegans are effeminate little soy boys who are all up in their emotions and their feelings and who look like little twig noodles, unless they're injecting roids, because when you artificially enhance your testosterone levels, you don't need to supplement with a good, nutritious diet of beef and eggs. But no, this guy was natural, fully natural and fully vegan, and I went back and forth with him about it. I had this very rigid philosophy about what good nutrition was, which was the animal-based diet, beef, eggs, organs, cholesterol, maxed out so that you can convert to testosterone and just feel like a savage all the time. He did his best to convince me otherwise, and it almost worked. I was very, very convinced, but something in me just wouldn't commit. It wouldn't even allow me to give it a go because I was so rigid. I was identifying so much with this version of myself that was a meat eater, because you need meat for high testosterone and I want to be a savage. And it took me very, very many months before I finally just gave it a go. And now it's been 10 days and I can't believe I waited so long because I feel fucking incredible. It's hard to describe just how much more energy I have on a daily basis, because I genuinely used to believe that carnivore was the ultimate energy for being natural, because you're sharp, you're focused, you don't have any carbs giving you brain fog, is what I believed. But very recently, since going vegan, I've noticed carbs don't give me brain fog at all. No, as a matter of fact, I'm starting to realize that it was the actual meat that was slowing me down, making me heavy, making me feel like shit. Because just think about the vile, evil conditions that these factory farmed animals have to go through on a daily basis. All the pain and suffering. It's 100% lowering the vibration of your food. Everything is energy and everything has a charge, a frequency. And I don't want to get woo-woo and start talking about prana because, quite frankly, I'm not educated enough to speak on the subject with much coherence. But right now, all I can do is report my own personal experience. I was genuinely terrified of turning into a flaccid little estrogenic soy boy after becoming vegan, because where am I going to get my cholesterol? Where am I going to get my body to turn cholesterol into testosterone? Guess what, brother? Your body can naturally produce as much cholesterol as it needs from fats, from natural plant-based fats. Man, speaking of testosterone, I cannot express just how much more vibrant I'm feeling on a daily basis. When I was carnivore, don't get it twisted, I felt sharp, mental clarity and energetic, but it was dirty. I didn't realize it at the time because I was so corrupted and brainwashed that this was how clarity felt like. But it was a certain kind of agitated, on edge type of clarity fueled by excessive cortisol But now, my energy and my clarity, they feel clean and pure and vibrant and colourful. It's hard to explain just how much more peaceful it feels and how much lighter my soul is, because now I'm not contributing to this disgusting meat industry that's causing 200 million animals to die every single day, not every year. And before they die, they living in the most grotesque life you can possibly imagine. No humans have ever even been subject to this. Even, dare I say it, in the Holocaust, even those concentration camps, even they didn't have to go through what these animals are going through. And by no means am I trying to link human and animal suffering, because I have no idea how similar they are, but it's been weighing on my mind for so long that every single meal I'm having is directly impacting the environment around me. Because every single person truly does make a difference, because it's not just about the collective knock-on effect of one person does something and then inspires another person to do that thing. No. It's actually individual, to the point where the food you eat is tracked. It's logged on the data sheet at your grocery store, and the data is sent to the supply chain, and the supply chain at the very end determine how many animals are to be bred and slaughtered based on the demand. And every single person has an effect, because I genuinely used to go through 3.5 kilos of beef mince every single week. Fuck knows how many cows that is a year. But it's a lot of death, man. It's a lot of fucking death. Something that I'm not going to be a part of anymore. Eggs as well. Eggs are not directly cause of murder. They're not literal murder, but they are resulting in murder, because when a hen is forced to lay so many eggs in a year to meet demand, it literally just implodes upon itself. Its body is so depleted of all the nutrients that it uses to just churn out these eggs that it just fucking collapses and dies. And I was eating 70 eggs every single week. Minimum. Fuck. But now I will no longer be a part of it, and I'm not even just doing it for the animals, because quite frankly, I'm a selfish motherfucker and I care about myself more than the animals. And that's exactly why I was allowing myself to eat them for so long, because I was like, no, the sacrifice is worth it. No, I'm high test. The more energetic and high test I feel, the more of an impact I'll be able to have on the world, because the more of drive and ambition I'll have to put in this effort to have an impact. And I was so fucking wrong, man. I feel so much more alive than I ever did when I was eating meat. And I feel like way more connected to purpose and God and peace and clarity. But it's not easy. It's not easy, because you have to be very intentional about it. When you eat beef and eggs, it covers a massive basis of nutrients. But when you're vegan, man, you have to be way more precise about all of your inputs. Shit matters so much more. But man, these inputs, they are just as effective, if not more so, I would argue, because before, even when I was trying to max out my testosterone by eating the most optimal diet, supposedly, or so I had been told, I was waking up with a morning wood every so often, maybe 3 times a week. Sometimes 5 times a week. More often than not, 3 times a week. But now it's insane just how hard my morning wood is. Without getting too graphic about it, I feel high test as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. And here's the thing. I haven't had a single wet dream since I quit eating meat. Not one. Because it feels like my thoughts are becoming more pure. It's much easier to separate myself from lustful thoughts that I was going through when I was eating meat. And partially, it's also because I've been practicing this art of dissipating my sexual energy and circulating it through the rest of my body when I'm getting these thoughts, instead of letting it concentrate in my head and in my groin. But I do believe that veganism has made this so much easier because my mind is more clean, my thoughts are more pure. It's very, very easy to stop myself once I start going down this train, this lust train that has a one-way ticket, and it terminates at the station of busting a nut when you didn't want to. I don't know what else I have to say, to be honest with you. I feel so good, and I'm going to keep documenting this journey, and I'm going to become better at articulating this. And I think the next video I'm going to make is going to be a full guide on how to eat vegan to maximize your test, so that you don't fuck it up and start to associate veganism with being a weak little soy boy, because that's not the case at all when you do things properly. I still have so much more education to do myself about it, because my knowledge is still very, very shallow. I'm at the very start of this journey, and I still have so much more to learn, but that's exactly what I want to do. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm not trying to convince you to go vegan. You know, I'm just reporting back what happened to me. If I keep going along this journey and it keeps on improving just the way that it has done so far, then I will be selling you on the fact, and I will be trying to convince you, and I will be preaching it. But right now it's only been 10 days, so I can't really say it with my chest with as much conviction as I'd want to. So I really hope that this sparked some kind of thought in you. I hope you have an amazing day.